D. Ability to communicate assumptions, supporting information and conclusions. Effective FP&A depends on clear, transparent, and persuasive communication. The FPAC framework emphasizes that finance professionals must explain not only analytical conclusions but also the assumptions and supporting evidence behind those conclusions. FP&A resources explain that executives and operational stakeholders require more than numerical outputs. They need to understand why conclusions were reached, what assumptions drive projections, and how recommendations support business objectives. Effective communication strengthens decision-making quality, builds trust, and increases organizational confidence in FP&A analysis and recommendations. Communicating assumptions is essential because financial models, forecasts, budgets, and scenario analyses rely heavily on estimates regarding revenue growth, pricing, staffing, inflation, market demand, and operational performance. FP&A professionals must clearly explain the assumptions underlying financial projections so stakeholders understand the conditions required for forecasts to succeed. Industry communication guidance emphasizes that assumptions should be transparent, realistic, and directly connected to operational drivers and strategic priorities. For example, a forecast projecting increased profitability should clearly identify assumptions regarding sales growth, cost control initiatives, or productivity improvements. Transparent communication of assumptions improves accountability, facilitates collaboration, and allows management teams to evaluate risks, challenge forecasts, and make informed strategic decisions more effectively. Supporting information provides the evidence and analytical foundation that validates financial conclusions and recommendations. FP&A professionals often use historical trends, variance analysis, benchmark comparisons, operational metrics, scenario analysis, and market data to support their findings. Effective communication requires presenting supporting information in a structured and concise manner that highlights key insights without overwhelming stakeholders with unnecessary detail. FP&A storytelling guidance explains that finance professionals should connect financial evidence to business context by explaining not only what happened, but also why it matters and what actions should follow. Visual tools such as dashboards, charts, trend analysis, and scenario comparisons further strengthen communication by helping audiences interpret supporting data quickly and clearly. Communicating conclusions effectively requires FP&A professionals to translate technical financial analysis into actionable business recommendations that align with organizational objectives. Industry FP&A communication resources emphasize that conclusions should be concise, practical, and focused on business implications rather than technical methodology alone. Executives and operational leaders often need clear guidance regarding risks, opportunities, trade-offs, and recommended actions rather than extensive financial detail. Effective FP&A communication therefore combines analytical accuracy with storytelling, prioritization, and audience awareness. Finance professionals must tailor conclusions to stakeholder needs, emphasizing strategic impact, operational consequences, and recommended next steps in ways that support faster and more informed decision-making across the organization. Modern FP&A organizations increasingly use dashboards, visualization tools, collaborative planning platforms, and automated reporting technologies to improve communication of assumptions, supporting information, and conclusions. Integrated planning systems help finance teams connect operational drivers with financial outcomes while improving transparency and consistency across reports and presentations. Technology enhances communication efficiency and allows stakeholders to explore assumptions, scenarios, and supporting data interactively. However, technology alone cannot ensure effective communication. FP&A professionals must still apply critical thinking, business understanding, storytelling skills, and communication adaptability to ensure analytical conclusions remain understandable, credible, and strategically meaningful for both financial and non-financial audiences. To be strategic advisors, they must combine analytical expertise, communication skills, business acumen, and interpersonal effectiveness when presenting financial insights and recommendations. Effective communication improves collaboration, strengthens stakeholder trust, supports forecasting credibility, and enhances strategic alignment across departments. As organizations increasingly rely on dynamic forecasting, scenario analysis, and data-driven planning, the ability to communicate assumptions, evidence, and conclusions clearly has become an essential competency for FP&A professionals responsible for supporting sustainable growth, operational performance, and long-term financial success.